Oh, so you can just like whatever. Oh, right, right.
She is on point. She came from with like headdress, knife that goes through it. I don't know. People that like afford to meet that amateur. She was hustling. I was
I'm so sick last few weeks, but I didn't return it. It's okay. No, no, okay. The reason is in writing. Even seeing Chinese characters oh yeah, I saw that. You said that. Yeah, that was people. Oh yeah. I've never heard that.
Stop behind all these tall people. You can like sit down here. Maybe you can sit and do it. Just like pop up. Well, you don't need to stand it all the time. Just when the time is running out. No, just sit here at night. Walk around. I'm gonna be taking. Alright, I can sit next to you.
I'm still finding out, so I can say yes or no. Okay.
Uncle, you ready for the picture? What? You want this chair?
Yeah, I knew it. Okay. Yeah, not yet. Give me 2 minutes.
So then they're parking walking halfway to the So what's
Hello, good evening everyone. Hello. Thank you for coming out on a Thursday night, braving Los Angeles traffic. My name is David K. Song. I'm the board chair for the Korean Resource Center. And I'll be the MC for tonight. So I just wanted to briefly talk about the Korean Resource Center itself, and then we'll segue over to the speakers that we have to talk about the exhibit that we're hosting for the next month. For the Korean Resource Center, most of you may be familiar with KRC as a community organization that's been servicing Koreatown for the last few decades. But it's also important to note that it has its ties to the democratization movement in South Korea. And one of the individuals that was responsible for this was a man named Yoon Han-bong, who had been a tireless advocate for democracy and freedom in South Korea since he was a student activist up until his passing. And Yunabong's story especially is important for KRC because with the Gwangju uprising in 1980, he became a target for the new regime under Chung Doo-han. And fearing persecution, he would flee to America as a stowaway on a ship. With the help of other tireless advocates, he was able to connect with individuals in America. One of those was Dr. John Kim, who was a heart surgeon and a human rights activist living in Detroit at that time. And securing help from Dr. Kim, he was able to, alongside, I think it was Dr. Kim and Senator Ted Kennedy at the time, they were able to help get assistance for Yunabong's settlement in the United States. And Dr. Kim himself would be the son-in-law for Kim Sangdon, who focused for this video installation exhibition. Kim Sangdon himself would be in California around that time, and he would actually invite Yunabong to come live with them in Los Angeles and continue his political activities. And during that time, the Kim family took Yunabong on as one of their own, and Yunabong was continuing a lot of his movement towards organizing and trying to find more rights for people in South Korea. And he was able to tap into resources here. He was able to find a network of other folks who were concerned about those same issues. And as part of his efforts, that kind of also spurred into the creation of various community centers throughout the United States. And one of those, of course, is the Korean Resource Center, which was opened in February 1983. And around that time period, KRC initially was a place where Yunabong envisioned, community members could go there, learn about Korean politics, history, their culture, and not just for the sense of building this sense of identity for self-satisfaction, but also to hopefully inform their identities as people who would also advocate for democracy in South Korea. And alongside those efforts, of course, was also to address the immediate needs for the community in terms of social services as well. So in that time period, over the ensuing decades, the Korean Resource Center itself has obviously expanded its range of activities. It's not just focused, well actually, in fact, originally we saw a lot of focus on homeland politics. Now we're looking at, of course, the Korean American diaspora here in the United States, and especially around issues such as the undocumented immigrants. And now, of course, it looks like we're also hosting art installations, which is not something I've envisioned going forward. And at this point, for the exhibit itself, it's important to highlight that Kim Sangdon played a crucial part in getting Yunabong situated in the United States and helping him continue his activities. And the video installation itself is deconstructed from an autobiographical archive of Kim Sangdon created by Duke Choi. This allows the public a chance to unearth a little-known narrative of social justice that starts from the year 1919 until Kim's death in 1986. He was the first democratically elected mayor of Seoul after the April 19th revolution, which forced Lee from power. And he was jailed during the May 16, 1961 coup d'etat, which was Park Chung-hee's rise to power. While in exile, Kim Sangdon struggled to restore democracy in South Korea and also took part in organizing in the United States. And at this point, I'd like to introduce Duke Choi, who's the artist who has helped put this exhibit together. Duke Choi graduated from the California Institute of the Arts and took a leave of absence for his graduate studies. His research and conceptual practices include installations, performances, and film relating to the human experience toward border politics. He has spent 5 years abroad and has exhibited his work in Mongolia, South Korea, Switzerland, and LA. And if you could give it up for Duke Choi.
Hi everybody, I really appreciate you guys coming here and hope you have a good dinner. I really don't know what really much to say about but finding these archives was kind of a really important thing about, yeah, there's all these things that democratic and things like that, but I remember talking to someone today and she was saying that how do you find documents when she remembers that everything was censored. And I'm really glad that Kim Sangdon actually had these archives, and he auto-archived and left it behind so we can do further research and compare what the institutions have and try to I'm kind of very shy to talk in this big crowd, but it's been a very long project and a lot of research. And it's an essay film, and I really hope you guys can enjoy it. There's a manuscript, and you can read that, and it explains a lot more than what I could do. I just want to do really
And the next speaker I'd like to welcome is Dr. Paul Song. Dr. Paul Song is a physician and strong progressive activist and tireless universal healthcare advocate. He's also the grandson of Kim Sangdon. So welcome Dr. Paul Song.
I just want this is my daughter Jet, by the way. So I just want to say one thing. Thank you to KRC, not only for hosting this exhibit, but for what you do in the community. I first learned about KRC and how you take care of really the least among us, how you care for our seniors, for those that are here on that are undocumented and that are being persecuted, and also just for those that don't have access to health care. And I know that the reason that's so important is those are the things that I think my grandfather would have been so proud to endorse and so proud to be part of an organization. So just knowing that Mr. Yoon stayed with my grandparents for 1 year while he was getting papers for asylum, and the connection that's here is just so powerful. So I would ask any of those friends of mine that are here, and many of them here are very active, trying to bring real social justice to our society, that you learn more about this organization and that we all try to do our best to support KRC and keep this going, because I think now more than ever, with when the government is cutting more social services for people and really declaring a war on the least among us, that we need to come together and really provide as much support for them as possible. I also want to just say one special word to my mom, to my Uncle James, to my Aunt Tuck. So my grandfather has 4 remaining children that are still alive. Unfortunately, 3 passed away and will never have an opportunity to see some of these records. But I was talking to my uncle, the oldest son, last week, and he was so sad he couldn't be here. But one thing I just want to say about Kim Sangdon is he had no money. He was not a politician in the sense that he got rich off that. If anything, he sacrificed everything. But the reason I want to point out my mom and her brothers and sisters are, they sacrificed tremendously. They were the ones that scrapped together their money, sold their silks for their weddings that were planned, and things to basically run, so he could run for election the first time. And then when he was to run for mayor, everyone who were students, they were working 3 or 4 jobs, sent money back to Korea so he could run and become mayor. This is a very unique situation. He wasn't one of these, my aunts and uncles were not people that were here with tons of money like we see sometimes now, right? You see a lot of kids here that have a lot of money. They didn't enjoy it. They sacrificed everything. So as much as Kim Sangdon did so much great to bring democracy and justice, I also want to just say this is really a gift to his kids for everything that you did to help make that happen. And I just want to again say thank you to all of you, and hopefully we can really support KRC to make this organization grow even more. And that's all I wanted to say. Thank you very much.
And I think we have so we actually have another speaker scheduled, but they're running behind a little bit.
Maybe the children can speak if they want to. Uncle James, you want to say something?
Oh yeah, if you would like to.
Or
add.
Tuck or Grace? Or...
Well, I can say about the young monk because he was in my house for 16 months.
Yeah, speak about it. Speak about it.
Yeah, please share your ideas. I think this could help everyone better appreciate the exhibit as well as get the personal aspects tied into it. Thank you.
안녕하세요. 저는 제임스 김이고 김상돈 씨의 막내 아들입니다. 저희 큰 누나가 시애틀에 가서 윤한봉 씨를 처음 만나서 뵙고 쪽에 그때 에피소드가 있었습니다. 여러분 아실지 몰라도 그 하비 목사님께서 패스워드를 줬어요. 그래서 윤한봉 씨한테 네가 배를 타고 밀항을 해서 시애틀에 가면은 한국 여자인데 키가 굉장히 큰 여자가 저희 큰 누나가 한 170, 한 5, 180 가야 되는데 그 여자가 있고 그 아버지는 누구고 그러니까 그 패스워드를 줬으니까 서로 패스워드를 익스체인지하고 만나서 데리고 갈 거다. 그래서 윤한봉 씨가 이제 그 호주에서 안 걸리고 글로 왔는데 이렇게 보따리 들고 이렇게 있는데 저희 큰 누나가 가서 보니까 분명히 저 사람이 윤한봉인데 패스워드를 갑자기 우리 누님이 잊어먹은 거야. 그래갖고 걸어가면서 왔다 갔다 하다가 I know that's the guy that I've been looking for. 그래갖고 이제 가서 찾으려는데 가서 혹시 저 한국에서 온 윤한봉이죠? 윤한봉 씨니까 쳐다보면서 이 사람이 누구 보고 그러냐고 멈춰고 또 간첩인지도 모르니까 그래서 아니라고 딱 잡았더니 누님이 당황해갖고 제가 누구 딸이고 이렇게 그 하비 목사님한테 표도 받아서 적었는데 제가 패스워드 잊어먹었어요. 그러니까 당신 난 모른다고 그러고 또 가더래요. 한참 저하고 있다가 일할 거는 안 되겠다. 일할 거는 누님이 쫓아가서 제발 저 믿어달라고 내가 그 여자라고 제발 믿어달라고 하여튼 결국 시간이 가고 믿게 돼서 차 타고 오면서도 굉장히 의심을 하고 그러더래요. 그래갖고 저희 집에 데리고 와서 저희가 그때 산타모니카 살았습니다. 근데 갑자기 누가 오더니 저희 아버님이 저 미스터 킴인데 여기서 좀 집에 있을 때 네가 잘 돌봐줘라. 그래서 네 그래서 이제 나중에 이야기 들으니까 신문에 보니까 동아일보에 wanted 리스트에 one of the top 10 거기에 나왔어요. 그래서 이 사람이 그러면 모른 척하고 So he stayed in my room. 그래서 저희 방에 있었고 제가 옆방 조그만 데서 있었는데 1년 4개월을 있었습니다. 그런데 다니면서 민족학교 이런 것도 스피치도 주고 저거하면서 익스포즈를 되니까는 영사관에서 여기 영사관에서 알아갖고 한 번은 우리 집에 찾아왔어요. 정보 영사하고 영사하고 찾아와서 있는데 우리 아버지 리빙룸에 저희 아버님하고 아버님 어로바이오그래피를 쓰고 있었는데 딱 쳐다보더니 저분이구나 이렇게 딱 눈치씩 그랬더라고요. 그래서 제가 나중에 한번 나가고 빨리 준비하라고 도망가야 된다. 그래서 이제 여기 홍기환 씨 아는 분 누구 계세요? 옛날에 네. 그래서 홍기환이 그래서 기환 이거 잘못됐다라고 전화해서 그날로 저가고 다른 데로 피신시키고 저왔었던 일이 있었습니다. 그리고 제가 망명을 시켜달라고 했더니 망명을 한 8, 9년 동안 안 시켜줬죠. 그러면서 나중에 망명 다 될 때쯤에서 한국에서 와도 된다고 해서 나갔는데 제가 한국 가서 2번을 만났습니다. 윤한봉 씨가 서거하기 전에 그 광주에서 올라오고서 근데 폐가 안 좋아갖고 오래 못 있어갖고 2시간 정도만 하면 다시 가야 되기 때문에 공기가 나빠서 그래서 지금 지나간 그 이야기지만 벌써 몇십 년이 됐습니다. 그래서 그 한봉군이 이렇게 훌륭한 민족학교를 세우고 또 제가 여기 여러분들 한인 사회에 나가서 보면 어른들이 아까도 제가 이길주 여사님한테 제가 말씀드렸지만 너무너무 이 민족학교 칭찬을 하는 거예요. 다들 욕먹는 단체들인데 이 민족학교만이 그렇게 칭찬을 듣고 서비스 잘해주고 어른들 저간다 그러면서 칭찬하는데 그 뒤에는 옛날에 돌아가신 최진환 박사님과 또 이길주 여사님과 등등 또 여러분들이 다 계셔서 그렇지 않고 저희 이 영광의 박수를 다 이룬 것 같아요. 감사합니다.
Is there anyone else who'd like to share? We're actually waiting just 5 more minutes, so this is a good time to have people share memories, or if there's anything else they'd like to contribute to the discussion.
반갑습니다. 여러분들 만나게 돼서. 저는요, 저희 아버지에 대해서 정치적인 그런 면에서 알면서 잘 몰라요. 왜냐하면 제가 일찍이 떠나서 여기서 생활하고 있었기 때문에 한국의 대한민국을 잘 모르지만 오늘 이렇게 저희 아버님에 대해서 모여서 이렇게 저희 아버님에 대해서 제가 아는 우리 아버지라 하면 참 첫째로는 하나님을 경외하신 분이에요. 그분은 하나님을 영어로 말하면 fear가 아신데 하나님을 무서워한다는 것보다는요 하나님을 사랑하시고 경외하시고 높이시고 의지하시고 그리고 개인적으로 하나님과의 관계가 굉장히 가깝고 깊고 그런 분으로 제가 아는 저희 아버지시고요. 그 증거로서는 또 그 국회의원으로 계실 때 그 반미특위 그러니까 거기에서 그 친일 숙청 뭐 이런 거 국회에서 해주셨을 때 우리 집이 찾아온 부인이 하나 계셨는데 그분이 박흥식 씨라는 그때 시대에는 아주 유명한 그 사업가시죠. 그리고 좀 한국 사람 치고 무슨 화신상인가 뭐 그런 걸 하셨던 분인데 돈도 많이 버시고 그분이 아마 거기에 걸리셨어요. 그래서는 그 부인이 새벽같이 우리 집을 찾아오셔가지고 우리 집에는 누가 이렇게 손님이 오시면은 겨울에 얼마나 추워요. 그러니까 보리 같은 거 하나 놓고 오시면 거기다 손 넣기세요. 그리고 보리차 하나 드리는 게 이제 미들 짭이에요. 그랬는데 그분이 하도 유명한 분의 부인이기 때문에 우리가 호기심이 있어서 머리에다가 손가락에다가 침을 발라가지고 그녀가 조금 들어가면서 바깥에서 우리는 들여다보고 있는 거예요. 그 부인과 우리 아버지와의 대화를 보고 있는데 그때 시대에 여우목들이라면 아마 여기 말하면 밍크 뭐 그런 거 아무나 여우목들이 되고 들렀거든요. 여우목들에다가 그야말로 비단으로 감으시고 머리도 아주 그런 듯하게 좀 이쁜 그런 분이시더라고요. 어쨌든 그분하고 그러니까 한국 문예의 창호지 아니에요. 그러니까 다 틀리지. 그런데 뭐라고 그러시냐면은 자기 남편은 좀 구해달라고 그분이 친일파로 걸렸으니까 그러니까 다 뭐 눈물을 흘려가면서 오직 걸었어요. 그랬더니 저희 아버님께서 다 들으시더니 잘 알겠노라고 오직 하겠느냐고 그렇지만 내가 하는 일을 안 해주겠습니다. 내가 반민특위를 맡은 거는 내가 하는 일이 아니고 국회에서 정원대로 그거를 내가 맡아서 책임있게 하는 그것이 내 일이기 때문에 내가 아무것도 할 수 없으니까 돌아가십시오. 그랬더니 부인이 걸어갔는데 돌아가시고 그 부인이 이제 가고 난 다음에 우리 집은요, 우리 아버지께서 그런 또 습관이 있어요. 손님이 왔다 가시면 특히 담배 피고 뭐 이런 사람들 있으면은 창문 열어놓고 볼을 이렇게 딱 털어서 먼지 털어서 보고 공기 이렇게 가끔 되는 그런 식으로 보고 계셨는데 거기에서 수표가 나왔다 이거예요. 그러니까 손을 넣고 녹이시려 그러니까 그 안에다가 수표를 넣고 간 거예요 이분이. 그러니까 우리 아버지께서 다들 들어오라고 하다못해 신고 아주머니부터 노이병으로 보낸 그 경찰 아저씨서부터 영만이라는 또 우리 남자 도와주는 선택 다들 돌아와서 들어갔더니 저희 아버님께서 하신 말씀이 뭐냐면은 수표를 이렇게 들고요. 난 자세히 못 읽었지만 공이 하여튼 굉장히 많았던 그런 수표였는데 이 수표가 지금 여기 왔다 가는 사람이 분명히 여기다 놓고 갔다는 거지. 자기 준 것도 아니래요. 그러니까 내가 딱 안 받았다고 볼 수 있고 너희 엄마한테도 내가 말을 안 하면 너희 엄마가 알 필요가 없고 모르는 그런 지명이라 이거죠. 아무도 모르는 수표라 이거. 그렇지만 하나님은 보시고 아신대. 그 말씀을 하시더라고요. 그리고 내가 이걸 가지고 너희들 얼마든지 호강시키고 너희 엄마도 호강시켜주고 그럴 수 있는데 그러면은 나는 결국 지옥에 감옥소에 가서 앉는 그런 신세가 된다는 거. 그러면서 그거를 이렇게 보여주시면서 그때 하시 이게 아무도 모르는 일이다. 정말 그렇죠. 아무도 모르는 일이죠. 그런데 이것을 본 분이 하나님이시래요. 하나님을 알고 계시고 하나님을 보셨다는 거예요. 나는 그 말씀이요. 내 사는 삶에 얼만큼 그것이 하나의 그 힘이 되는 거예요. 그러니까 그걸 보면은 우리 아버님은 언제든지 하나님을 의식하고 사셨다는 그거를 내가 이제 그렇게 커가면서 늙어가면서 철이 들으니까 야 참 우리 아버님이 대단하신 아버지다. 그런데 그렇게 보실 수 있었던 것이 우리 아버지가 소리별이 잘나서 그래서가 아니라 결국 하나님을 의지하고 하나님이 주시는 성령님의 그 힘과 그 의지로서 그런 일을 극복하시지 않았나 저는 가끔 그렇게 생각해요.
아멘.
그리고 또 하나는 사람은 사랑하는 분이에요. 이거는. 사람을 사랑하는데 누구나 다 이렇게 사랑을 그 자기가 좋아하는 사람을 나는 사랑하는 게 아니고 사랑하기 힘든 사람들, 지금 사랑하기 불편한 사람들 그런 사람들을 그렇게 사랑하셨어요. 그 예로서는 우리가 잘할 때 우리 집은요 거지가 그렇게 갖고 와요. 우리 아버지가 광화문 집에 가시다가 주소를 적어서 우리 어머니한테 쪽지를 해서 보내요. 그러면 그 거지들이 와서 그야말로 처음에는 뭐 밥 좀 얻어먹고 옷도 갈아입고 옷도 하라고 그러니까 좋아서 한 2주 있다가는 결국은 도망가지 않으면 뭐 훔쳐가지고 나가고 그런 것이 예사였거든요. 그런데 그 중에 하나 그야말로 성공적인 열매 맺은 그 스토리가 하나 있는데 어느 섬에 갔다 오시다가 완도 섬에 갔다 오시다가 어느 고아를 하나 데리고 오셨어요. 이름이 복순이야. 복순. 나보다 몇 살 위에 있는데 지금 생각하면요 무슨 튀긴 것 같아. 이 눈이 좀 이렇게 회색빛이 나고 머리가 좀 보글보글하고 주근깨가 여기 아이들 기쁘시고 주근깨가 잔뜩 난 그런 아이를 하나 데리고 오셨는데 이름을 복순. 성도 없어요. 근데 그 복순이를 데려다가 우리 집에서 그 복순이가 나이가 많으니까 우리가 그 복순이 보고 언니라고 해야 되고 이런 식으로 해서 그렇게 살았는데 잘 자랐어요 걔가. 그 대신 조건이 있죠. 우주가 있으면 여기서는 누구나 다 일해야 하고 저녁에는 갔다 오면은 저희가 오면은 가자교육부터 시작하고 그리고 주일학교 가야 되고 그랬는데 이 아가씨가 그렇게 잘 자라줬어요. 그래가지고 이제 시집을 가야 될 때가 됐는데 사실 한국에서 고하고 수소원 아이고 성도 없는 아이는 누가 어떻게 걔가 시집을 갈 수 있겠어요. 그랬는데 우리 사리원에 사시는 고모, 자기 누님이죠. 누님이 아들이 있었는데 그 아들하고 결혼을 시키고 그러면서 우리 고모한테 누님 아시죠? 내가 얘를 어떻게 기르는지 또 어떻게 얘가 잘 커졌는지 그리고 사람 됨됨이가 이렇게 됨됨이 된 여자가 어디 있겠느냐고 그러니까 그 누님 생각해 보시고 얘를 그렇게 누님으로 받았으면 좋겠다고 그랬더니 우리 고모가 어이가 없어서 그러시더니 한번 생각해 보자고 그래가지고 나는 해가지고요 결혼을 시켰어요. 그래서 지금 사료원으로 가서 사는데 그 다음에 3학년이 나서 우리가 또 가보지도 못하니까 거기서 어떻게 사는지 아무도 모르죠. 그래서 만약에 우리가 미국 거기냐면 저거 된다면 꼭 내가 사료원에 가서 그 집이야 아마 안 살아있겠지만 그 사람들에 대해서 좀 알아보고 물어보려고 그래서 이런 걸 보면은 우리 아버님의 그 사랑의 열매가 그런 데서 있었던 거를 저희 인생을 살았습니다.
I just want to take this opportunity to introduce David Rue. Some of you, I'm sure you all know him right now, but he's the very first Korean American elected to the LA County council, city council, and he's been a great friend to so many of us here, a great friend to our family, and I know somebody that my grandfather would have been proud to know. With that, Councilman David Rue.
안녕하세요. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Paul, for that introduction. 안녕하세요. 저 데이비드 유입니다. 저 LA 시의원이요. 감사합니다. 저 콩글리시로 할게요. 왜냐면 그 정치 얘기하면은 저 그 단어가 좀 부족해서요. 근데 진짜 first off 우리 Korean Resource 민족학교한테 너무 감사드려요. 제가 솔직히 저 선거 나왔을 때도 민족학교에서 진짜 많이 DJ 오늘 없는 거 아파서 못 오신 걸로 들었는데요. DJ도 진짜 많이 도와주시고 DJ Danny, Danny 다 아시죠? 저 진짜 봉사도 많이 해주시고 그 Reverend Howard Kim도 많이 도와주시고 그래서 제가 여기 온 이유가 여기 자리에 서 있는 이유가 진짜 우리 여러분들이 다 많이 도와주셔서 그리고 진짜 우리 어르신들 고생한 어르신들 우리 미국 와서만 고생한 게 아니고 미국 와서 오셨어도 한국에 그렇게 한국에서도 그렇게 많이 관심 있고 도와주시고 그래서 bi-coastal you guys are literally our founders. 왜냐면 그 진짜 우리 역사 보면은 도상안청원 같이랑 똑같게 우리 교포들이 played a huge role in the formation of South Korea. 그래서 너무나 너무 감사드립니다. 그 미국 저 교포로 미국에서도 감사드리고 진짜 우리 한국에서도 이렇게 발전된 나라 이유가 여기 여러분들이 어르신들이 열심히 일하신 것 때문에 여기까지 왔다고 생각합니다. 그래서 너무 감사합니다. You know, and honestly, I'm here for two reasons. First, well, one of the reasons is all the democracy movement, student protest. Growing up, 제가 어렸을 때 크면서 저 아버지 선생님이었어요 한국에서. And he was a sociology teacher. 그러니까 우리 다 미국 이민 와서 한국에서 되게 어렸을 때 저는 75년도에 태어났으니까 제가 어렸을 때 생각나는 게 뭐 데모 많이 있었고 서브웨이에서 tear gas 같은 것도 봤었고 그게 좀 생각나요. And later on when I grew up 어렸을 때 우리 아버지한테 많이 물어봤어요. 우리 아버지 사회 선생님이었습니다. And I asked my father, 이거 데모 뭐냐고요? 그리고 이거 좋은 거 아니냐고. And I remember him telling me as a teacher, 너는 공부만 해라. 학생이다. 공부만 해라. And And he made it a point where he kept on saying, 아, 너는 이런 일 상관없게 그냥 계속하라. So my whole life, I thought my father, 우리 아버지가 was very removed. 그쪽에서 일 많이 안 했었다고 생각했어요. 근데 이제 지나니까 미국 이민 와서 우리 아버지가 he worked and eventually he worked and he was the editor for the Korean Street Journal. 한국말로 네? 아니요, Korean Street Journal 한국 이름이 뭐죠? In Korean? Yeah. Oh, was it in Korean? The Korean word. What? The Korean Street Journal에서 he was the editor and he was very much involved in democracy. 그러니까 이쪽 운동 많이 한 걸 몰랐어요. And later I found out 우리 아버지가 돌아가신 다음에 제가 한국 가서 정식 우리 아버지 베스트 프렌드가 저한테 말하는 게 우리 아버지가 너무나 그쪽에서 기자도 많이 써가지고 he was blacklisted and he couldn't go back to Korea. 그때 딕테이터십들 때문에 우리 아버지 다시 한국 못 들어갔대요. 들어가고 싶어도. 그러니까 그 대통령 바뀌면서 after we had a first democracy elections, 아버지 다시 들어가면서 어려서 크면서 I thought my father had no interest in politics. 정치 관심 다 싫었다고 생각했는데 한국까지 가서 he was trying to get involved in politics. 그래서 저 너무나 놀랬고요. So you know 저도 어렸을 때 이런 movement에서 관심 많이 있었고, so the fact that even though my father never told me, the fact that he was involved makes me so proud to be here to recognize the life work of the first democratically elected mayor of Seoul. 그리고 두 번째는 저 형님 Paul Song. Paul's my hero. 진짜 우리 커뮤니티 로컬에서 그리고 Paul Song은 동쪽에서 많이 살았잖아요. He's not originally from LA. He's from the East Coast. 그리고 제가 몇 년 전에 Paul Song 얘기 여기저기서 많이 들었어요. Because he's recently came. I had no idea who he was, and I keep on hearing his name everywhere. 좀 progressive movement 쪽에서 많이 활동한다. And I never got to meet him. And when I finally met them, 우리 locally 정치 쪽에서 너무 약했을 때, I gave up. I was 너무나 우리 목소리가 없어가지고 저는 운동 많이 했지만 우리는 진짜 아직도 우리 힘이 없다. It's not our time. 우리 일세들이 말하는 거, just work hard. It's not our time. We have to wait our turn. 저도 막 포기하려고 그랬을 때 퍼성을 만났어요. And he was an inspiration. He was justice. He was nothing scared him. 저가 너무나 힘을 많이 받았어요. 우리 LA 정치 쪽에서 우리 아무도 안 도와주고 약했을 때 Paul Song and his wife Lisa Ling was very influential. 우리 한인 커뮤니티 안 도와줘도 돼요. 근데 he got involved. 그러니까 저도 더 운동 더 많이 했었고 he took very unpopular positions for our community. And 그때 제가 정치도 하기 싫고 그만두려고 그랬는데 Paul Song 만나서 더 세게 했어요. And knowing that, he pictured, no surprise when he told me about his grandfather, how he was a freedom fighter, how he went after Chinilpa, how he was out there. 그러니까 제가, I know being his grandson, I know if his where he became who he is, and which is why it's such an honor for me to be here. You can just see how Dr. Paul Song has been a champion. 그리고 진짜 안 무서워요. 무서운 게 없어요. 저도 많이 데모도 하고 싸운다고 생각하는데 진짜 I get inspiration and I get power from Paul. 그래서 when he told me about this, 이 행사 오늘 있을 거라고 I definitely wanted to 좀 늦게 와서 죄송합니다. 딴 행사 있어서 끝나자마자 바로 온 이유가 because I wanted to honor Paul and his grandfather, where I know he always talks about his grandfather. And he tries to, everything that he does, emulate what his grandfather stood for. And that is an inspiration. And that's why I wanted to be here. I could just imagine. 우리 LA에서 우리 약하다, 힘들다, 제 선거할 때도 힘들다 막 해도 I just think back. 우리 어르신들이 처음 이민 왔을 때 얼마나 힘들었을까? 이민 사업이 얼마나 힘들었을까? 근데 그 전에 democracy movement in Korea where people were literally getting killed. How more difficult that was. 그게 그거 따지면 이민 사업이 너무 쉬워요. 그 다음에 during the Honorable Kim Sangdon's life, 그때 우리 Korean War 끝나고 when we're trying to get on our feet, 얼만큼 더 힘들었을까? So when I think about that, 제가 지금 고생하는 게 너무 쉽다고 생각해요. 그래서 진짜 우리 어르신들, to the Honorable Kim, to Paul Song, to all our 어르신 that are here, 제가 거기서 힘을 받습니다. 그래서 너무 감사하고요. That's why I wanted to come here. I did not want to miss this. And and I want to, on behalf of the City of Los Angeles, 우리 for the Honorable, the very first democratically elected Mayor of Seoul, 지금 없지만 I would love to present it to Dr. Paul Song, the Honorable Sangdon Kim, on behalf of the City of Los Angeles for everything that he did for both countries. 그렇죠. 지금 DJ 윤이 없지만 I want to present this to the Korean Resource Center, 민족학교. 진짜 you guys are an inspiration. Thank you. 그리고 여기 이 장소가요. This is Council District 4. 제 도시예요. 그러니까 so anything. I'm just sad that 조금 더 일찍 이겼으면은 이 건물 짓는 것도 많이 도와줄 수 있었지만 거의 다 끝났을 때 왔으니까요. But I'm so glad that it's here. Anything that the Korean Resource Center, 민족학교가 필요하신 거는 꼭 저한테 부탁하시고요. 왜냐면 제 진짜 I owe it to what the efforts of the Korean Resource Center, not just recently, but for decades, what you've been working on. Literally, because 많이 도와주셨으니까, but everything you've been doing to help build our community where we are. So thank you so very much.
And we have one last speaker. I'd like to introduce Angela E.O. She's a native Angelino and second-generation Korean American who now works as a mediator in civil rights disputes. Her previous community engagement included service on several boards and commissions to advance civil rights and civil society. This work continues along with teaching Zen meditation and growing a project called the Gift of the Compassion. Welcome, Angela O.
안녕하세요. 반갑습니다. 왔어요. 오늘 날 샌프란시스코에 있었어요. 그래서 근데 저는 English는 안 써요. 저는 English예요. I am not like Dr. Song or David Rue, our first elected, or even our board chair. Who has led this organization to where we are today. I'm pretty ordinary, and my parents left Korea right after the war and came here as immigrants. My father is very anti-communist. He's 87 years old. He fought in the 60s and left thinking he was going to come back to Korea to rebuild the country. But things happen.
Can't hear.
Oh, so things happen, right? War creates death and much suffering. We are all here because of the product of the war. Really, think about it. Some people came to pursue an education or more recently for economic reasons, maybe. But my parents accomplished what they wanted, which was to raise their 4 children in this country so they would have opportunities that maybe would not be there for them in Korea. In that process, for many years we lost our connection. And this is the beauty of this project and the significance of this project. That the Kim Sangdon role in the history of not just Korea, but the connection to our Kyoko in the United States is literally an essential bridge. I used to, in the 90s, say, don't talk to me about what's happening in Korea. I'm Korean American, I need to focus on what's happening here in the United States. That was a mistake now, I think. More recently, because what I see is that Korea is going to be a global flashpoint if we are not clear about our position around peace, around humanity, around being able to keep those close ties no matter how far the space and no matter how distant in time. I feel grateful toward the artist Duke, who was able to bring the work together in a way that shows in very clear terms that now is the moment for artists and creatives to step forward, to bring the intimacy that we feel anyway, but can share with others. So I'm second generation. I was born, raised here in LA. This is my home ground, really. But because of the life, the way it was lived by Kim Sangdon and his family, the sacrifice he was willing to make, literally life and death, because this coincidence of coincidence that some artist decides, oh, this is a very moving story, I need to look deeper, and then finds other people that hear the story and say, oh yeah, this is an important story, there's something moving about it, but I don't know what, but I am going to look deeper. And then what happens is we have something like Korean Resource Center. Is that a coincidence? It just happens to be created. It just happens that it's in this district. It just happens that the first Korean American elected official to the city council is present to witness and be a part of what is happening right now. You could say it's almost magic. You could almost say it's magic. I don't think of it in those terms. Right? I think of it as karma. It's karma. Too many coincidences for something like this to be able to appear. Too many coincidences for the moment related to American politics now. The nasty, mean-spirited, unforgiving, cruel policies that are being currently issued out of Washington, D.C. And who's going to stand up? Where do you find the courage to stand up in the face of not speaking the language, not having the culture, not having the network, not having the money? Where does that come from? You know who you remember? Kim Sangdon. And all of his allies and all of his, comrades who really just said, this is wrong. This is a moment in which we can clearly say the things that we're seeing the politicians at the national level say are wrong. And it's actually radical right now to talk about the things that will drive us being love and compassion and kindness and caring and recognizing humanity even if we don't speak the same language, even if we don't eat the same food, even if we don't know the same history, because we have a chance now to say no. We cannot afford war at this point. You will not use the Korean Peninsula as a place where you can make an excuse for more violence and suffering, because you know why? We live in a time where we can destroy everything. Everything. If one mistake is made. So, I think it's pretty remarkable that KRC is opening the space for this kind of exhibit, this kind of demonstration of where the role of artists can be in social change and social justice work, where history meets contemporary life, where young people meet our elders, where we can have technology telling you what I'm saying if you cannot understand my words. So thank you for making this space. And thank you to not just all of you who are here, but all of those who are not here, who we're remembering, because they gave life to everyone who could. Thank you so much.
To close, I'd like to invite Jonathan Beck to come up here. He's the Orange County Director for Korean Resource Center.
All right, good evening, everyone. All right, one more time, we'll do it a little louder. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. All right, we're back with the family. Okay, so my name is Jonathan Pink. I'm the Orange County Director at the Korean Resource Center. And I'll keep this short because I know it's been a night, and I want folks to enjoy the exhibit today. But I want to first thank each and every one of you today to be able to join this family. Join this family as members. Join this family as an organization that is advocating for the people who need the advocacy the most, and most importantly, empowering the people who are in need the most to be able to fight and to be able to stand up and rise in this challenging time. I came here today to be able to share what this project means to me, and that not only as a young organizer does it mean for me to be able to understand that this time is important to organize more than ever, but more now than ever is it the time to be able to understand that organizing runs in my blood, organizing runs in my history, organizing runs in my culture. I'm very proud to be able to stand in an organization that stands rooted in that history and culture today. And I'm very proud to be able to stand with each and every one of you today as members of organizations, as members, and as my family. And as we be able to change, not what 4 years from now, but this year, today, that we move forward to be able to march together, to be able to break down walls, break down barriers, and break down the oppression and injustice that we see every day. And so, lastly, and most importantly, I want to be able to highlight all the people who had worked so hard for this event, this exhibit to be able to happen today. Can I ask Ashley to stand up, please? So Ashley's really given the labors to be able to help coordinate all this, and I appreciate her work in all this today. And I want to be able to appreciate everyone here today for being able to come and being able to continue to be the foundation for the work that we do continue. So thank you very much.
So, that wraps up the speaking portion of the event. You guys are more than welcome to check out the exhibit. The exhibit will be running for the next month, I think up until June 29th. So, the hours are listed on the KRC website. I think it's actually open on Saturdays as well. So, please invite all your friends, family, come check out the exhibit. There's photographs as well, not just the video installations. And thank you for coming out today.
Oh, excuse me. Hi, everyone. My name is Ashley. You've probably seen me running around. I just want to say, after you enjoy the exhibit and get any more drinks, can you also please return your name tags to the registration area? Thank you. Thanks for coming.
한번 또, 보세요. 어디 사세요? 하나씩 좋은 데 거기. 나도 거기 저번에 김치 누나가 거기 산타마르카 오션에비냐 살아요. 오션에비냐고 많구나. 나 거기 나 저 수술하고 있다가 거기 살다가 어디 나는 기억 못하면서 참 이쁜 여자하고요.
일단 글쎄 말해. 아니 그때 우리 그 전두환이 왔을 때 그 영등관 앞에서 빵길로 차고.
That was 1980, 81.
그 아버지 정말 너무 생각이 많이 나요. 아버지가 매주마다 깡통 와가지고 내가 글램을 공부할 때 나오면은 날 학교에서 한 50분, 60분 그냥 해줬어.
한국 사람들이 나오더라고요.
그렇지.
나한테 무슨 사람이
아니 나한테도 얘기하라고 그래서 내가 그 얘기를 하려고 그랬거든. 저기다 갖다 나한테 뒷부으로 나한테 놔준 거야.
누가 그저 하는
참 아버님 지날수록 너무 생각이 많이 나고 진짜 아까도 누님도 얘기했어요. 아버님이 참 신앙인이었어요. 아버님이 리얼 크리스천이었어요.